Good morning, everyone. My name is Karla, and you have reached my FlossTube channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about mostly cross stitch, but also other crafts that I'm involved in, and just a little bit of life thrown in. Today is Sunday. It's August 1st. This is my FlossTube number 102. Yay, August. August is my birthday month. My birthday is 2 weeks from today on the 15th. So August is always a good month for me, right? Because, you know, there are people who celebrate their birthday all month. I tend to not celebrate it that much at all, but as my mom always said, getting older is better than the alternative. So I don't have any specific plans. I'm going over to Erin and Stacy's the weekends that are surrounding my birthday weekend. So I'm sure that one of those days we will have some kind of a cake or cupcake and candle and singing moment. And other than that, I'm going to be going to see a play on Friday the 13th with my stepkid Taylor. So the theater that I worked at for years and years and years and years has reopened its doors after COVID and is putting on a production. It's actually, they're doing the same production that they were doing when they closed the doors, what, a year and a half ago or more at this point. But it looks like they have precautions pretty much in order. I'm planning on wearing a mask indoors, all that stuff. And so unless things change in the next 2 weeks, what's going on with my shirt here? Okay, unless things change in the next 2 weeks, I'm feeling pretty comfortable about going to a show. As I said, things could change. Numbers in Orange County are going up. It doesn't seem to be quite as crazy as it was the original pandemic. Now that we're in the Delta area, I am fully vaccinated. Everybody that I have any contact with is fully vaccinated. But, you know, that doesn't mean that we can completely throw caution to the wind. But I am planning on going to see play on the 13th, and unless something drastically changes. So I am looking forward to that. Since it is the 1st of August, I thought I would do my little on-camera switching of my year of celebrations. You can see what's been up there is June. So that kind of tells you where my HUD's been for the entire month of July. I've passed this thing on my wall and not noticed. I actually noticed last week around Wednesday that I hadn't changed it, and I figured that there was no point in changing it at that point. But I have my August that I stitched. This is one of the pieces that I kind of made a bit of changes to. I took off the ants and the little picnic blanket, and I put little flowers instead of the ants, because since I removed the picnic blanket, the ants didn't make much sense. And I put a birthday cake instead because it's my birthday month. So I kind of personalized that one just a little bit. Get the baggy hairs off of it, and this will go up behind me after the video. So I did that project in like the first year that I was stitching in 2019, and I enjoy having that every month. Eventually I think I want to do another like monthly type project so that I can switch it out every month, although I may not be good about switching it out, as is evidenced. Okay, the other thing, today, Sunday, August 1st, Common Threaded Stitcher is starting again. They're doing it for the 3rd year now. I participated the first year daily. I was really good about it. Last year, I think I started and fell off and posted here and there. I'm going to try and do better this month because, or this year. It's a fun thing to do. So if you haven't heard about it, I feel like if you haven't heard about it, you don't watch a lot of FlossTube, because it seems like everybody that I watch, almost everybody who's on the team, and so I've been hearing about it a lot. So this was started by Kia from Kia B. So she got a whole group of people together again, this was 2 years ago, with the idea that it would be fun to do kind of an Instagram prompt thing for the month. And so every month there is a question, and you post a picture or pictures, answer the question, and then if you follow the tag Common Threaded Stitcher, you just learn a lot about a lot of people in the community, and it's really fun. And I got to know other floss tubers that way. I found channels to watch, and just, you know, learned a little bit about people. I think people learned a little bit about me. I just started my channel at that point, and I think I got some people who started watching me because of Common Threaded Stitcher, because they saw me on there. Hopefully I'll get some more this year. So yeah, it's a really fun kind of thing to do, you know, to do the tag every morning. You're not required to do every day, so if there's a question that you don't like or you don't want to answer or whatever, just skip that day. But it's really fun to read them all and find new people to follow on Instagram and new floss tubers to watch and everything. It's a fun thing to do. So I recommend Common Threaded Stitcher. So there's actually a Common Threaded Stitcher, they started an Instagram actually page, and that's, you can find all of the prompts on there, but then they also post them every morning, and then you just tag your post with hashtag Common Threaded Stitcher, and then anybody who's searching for that will be able to find it. And then they also like if you can tag the people who are involved, because then they'll definitely read it. Yeah, so it's just a really fun thing to do. So I am looking forward to do that. I put my first post up this morning, which is just an introduce yourself thing. And yeah, so go ahead and do that. Go read mine, put yours on, tell me that you put it on there so I can read it. And it'll be a fun thing to do in August. Okay, so I think that's about it. I don't have a lot to talk about today. So we can get into stitching fairly quickly. So no finishes, of course. New starts. I actually started my August new starts a little bit early, so I cheated a bit, I guess. I did pick for my Black Cat birthday sal. So I kind of started a tradition in 2019 because I started stitching in 2019. In August, I kind of do two projects. I do a Black Cat birthday sal, which the first year I did the Nora Corbett Red Kitten. And then last year I started Night Walk Down by the Blue Flower, which is still in progress. Red Kitten I finished that month and got it in my head that that was something that I could do very easily. Of course, I picked sort of a smaller or easier pattern, I should say, and I didn't have as many whips then. So my 2020 Black Cat birthday sal of Night Walk Down is still only like a third finished. So for this year, I decided to just pick something small that I could definitely finish very quickly. And then continue to work on Night Walk Down. I have so many really gorgeous patterns, black cats, every kind of cat. I will never run out of black cat projects to choose from, but I just decided to do this cute little small guy, which is actually meant to be the August pattern for this whole series. I don't have anything else in the series, I just have this August one, but Kitty Cocktail. And so yeah, so I started that, and I decided I'm doing it on a piece of, I think this is 20 count Aida. I just had a piece of scrap in my fabric stash, and I kind of just dunked it in some teal dye because, I don't know, white wasn't doing it for me. And so I just have a really quick start on that. The changes I'm making, I'm doing it in sulky, first of all, on the 20 count. Oops. And I'm just going to add a little bit of color. So I'm going to put yellow in the glass for a lemonade. I'm gonna do the umbrella with kind of like just a few stitches of kind of an orangey pink color, and I'm gonna add some stripes onto the straw. And then I'm also gonna do the whiskers just in a lighter gray than the black, just to make them stand out a little bit more. And somebody had messaged me during the week that they want to do this with me, which if you have this pattern, great, do it with me. If you can't find this pattern, do any black cat, and you can tag it for my black cat birthday style on Instagram. I haven't even taken a picture of it yet for this year. This, I believe, is out of print, so if you can find it, that's great. I found it on, I think this was one of the $2 charts on 1884 that I just happened to see. But you can, my styles are pretty open. It's just, you know, do it with me. That's the whole point. So that was a new start that I just kind of put a few stitches in to get it going. And then, okay, the big saga of the Enchantress of the Abyss. So I have good news, actually. Where's my picture, first of all? So I am just doing this because I love it and I want to. And those of you who watch me regularly, this is Enchantress of the Abyss by Bella Filipina. So those of you who watch me regularly know that I had this big saga, drama, whatever with the fabric. So I got actually several fabrics over the last several months with the idea of doing this pattern. And although I got some beautiful fabrics, I got some from, I think, BeStitchMe, and I think I got a piece from Hand Dyed by Borlanda. And although they're all beautiful, none of them had the depth of color that I wanted for this piece. Because, you know, you get it in your head, you see a vision, and that's what I wanted. I wanted a deep, beautiful fabric. And then I went to Vegas and found this fabric, which was exactly what I was looking for as far as color and sparkle. And it's hard to see on camera. It comes out a little bit like just kind of black one tone, but it's really like a deep blue with green. It's really pretty. However, this is a linen, and linen is not my favorite thing to stitch on, just in general. And then when you add on sparkle and dark fabric, I tried stitching on this. I put in about 4 stitches in the course of 10-15 minutes. I ended up actually putting in probably 20 stitches to get those 4 stitches because I kept pulling them out. It just looked horrible. It was not fun. I could not see the fabric for the holes. I just couldn't. It was making me frustrated, and I 100% realized that if I tried to do a big project like that on this fabric, I would get a few stitches in and it would sit in a drawer. I would never do it. This fabric is gorgeous, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I think I'm just going to hold on to it for a while. I may be willing to tackle it with a small project. I may eventually give it away or sell it or something, because it is beautiful. And it's a nice big piece. I just I couldn't see. So yeah, so I tried. So I came home and I dyed a piece of Lucana, and it looked perfect when it was wet. And then when it dried to this really pretty sort of denim-y blue-green. Again, very, very, very pretty fabric, not what I wanted. I did start stitching on it, and it was perfectly easy to see. I didn't have that problem, but it wasn't giving me the feels that I wanted. So my dilemma continued. And so I ordered a piece of white sparkly. The other thing was I really wanted sparkly. Yeah, and then the other thing, and then I ordered a piece of fabric flare because I thought that might work. I didn't know you could get fabric flare in an even weave instead of an Aida, so I ordered it in an even weave. And when it came in, I think the same issue, it came in lighter than the picture, I think because it was an even weave instead of an Aida. So I guess even printing on fabric changes what the fabric can take as far as color. But the bigger problem was it came in and it didn't have sparkle. I paid for sparkle. I requested sparkle, I paid for it, I didn't get it, and I contacted them twice and have gotten no response. So I don't know if the $3 is worth the frustration of me making a stink about it, but again, this fabric wasn't exactly what I wanted, although it is very pretty, so I will be happy to have it in my stash. So then I ordered, as I said, I ordered a piece of white sparkly Aida from Amazon, and I got it in and I dyed it and I waited to see if it would dry lighter, and guess what? It did not. It dried dark and beautiful and sparkly. So this is what I'm stitching Enchantress of the Abyss on. I have a light right there so you can see just how sparkly it is, and I dyed this, like, I put it through 3 or 4 baths of color. Like, I did it in a green, an emerald green, and then I did a mixture of navy and indigo, and then I rinsed it and rinsed it and rinsed it and rinsed it and rinsed it, and there were some areas that seemed a little bit light, so I did it in another bath of navy and indigo, and then rinsed and rinsed and rinsed and rinsed, and then I did it in a quick bath of like a turquoisey teal color. And I think it came out really, really pretty. Now, the only thing about this Aida is it is a bit stiff. And I rinsed it and stuff, and so I think I rinsed out some of the sizing or whatever. But I don't mind it. I'm not having any problem getting my needle through it when it's in the hoop. And I have a feeling it will loosen up as I stitch on it. But that is my first few stitches. That's the hair. But yeah, the fabric came out pretty much exactly what I was looking for. So I guess I should have just done the dyeing myself to start with. But I guess it was a good lesson. That if I want a really deep dark fabric, I can't get it on an even weave myself. I mean, I could buy it, but also, although I'm willing to stitch on linen, I can't be so ambitious and think that I can stitch on dark linen. So anyway, but I'm really pleased with this. Let me know what you guys think. Don't you think that this came out pretty? Please tell me yes, because after everything I went through to get this fabric. Okay. So that is Enchantress of the Abyss. And I'm really excited to get into this more and, you know, get more colors on there and everything. I think it's going to look really good. Okay, so other than those 2 new starts, I worked on a few things this week. The first being I worked on Always My Mother. So those of you who have not visited my channel before, I lost my mom in January. We lost my mom January 29th this year from COVID and complications of COVID. And what can you say when you lose a parent? It's gonna be with me, that sadness, for a long time. I have my very blue moments, let's just say. I've been fighting that a little bit these last couple weeks, that I'm just feeling a little sad. But what I decided to do at the time was do this chart in honor of my mom as a tribute. I'm changing the rose to purple. I'm doing everything in silk, and then I'm changing the words a little bit. It'll say Always My Mother, Forever My Heart when I'm done with it. And I pull this pattern out every so often, put in a few stitches or an evening of stitches, just when I feel like I want to think about my mom and feel her with me. So this is where I've gotten on it so far. When I hold it back here and look on a viewfinder, it looks great. When I look at it up close, it still doesn't look like a rose to me, but then I hold it back and I see it. But while I'm stitching on it up close, it still just looks like blocks of color. But I think it's going to be really beautiful when it's done. I'm doing it all in silks, did I say that? And this is on a Lugana Splash, pink splash. And I've said this before, this is like the weirdest pattern. Granted, I've only been stitching like 2 years or so, but still, this is like the weirdest pattern that I've ever worked on as far as straddle stitches and half stitches and, you know, half stitches going this way and half stitches going this. I mean, it's just, it's weird. And I know that they do that to get, like, you know, the color placement exactly where they want it to be, but it's just, I've just never come across anything that was like that before. Which makes it kind of challenging to do. I mean, it's a small little pattern, and you'd think it'd be just like knock it out, but there's so many fractional stitches and straddle stitches, and it's just weird. So, you know, I'm taking it slow because I want it to be really, really, you know, perfect, I guess. And then I also have a little butterfly charm that I'm going to be putting on it that actually my mom was wearing when she went into the hospital. And I got it back, and it's going to go on here as well. Okay, so that's always my mother. Then the last 2 projects I worked on, I think you guys are going to be happy to see these because these are both Hades, and those are always exciting to see the progress. So the first one is Kitty Magic. Which I started this in May. I was really intrigued to work on a kind of a monochromatic sort of Hade. I'm still kind of in the white corner. So as usual, it doesn't look like much to show you yet, but oops, I always forget that I have the pattern on there. Okay, so this diagonal is new, and you can see the star kind of coming in. So far it's still kind of white on white. It's hard to see, but it's growing. And it's fun to work on, even though it's kind of white on white. So, you know, but I'm intrigued to get to a point where like some of the darker colors come in, and I think it's going to happen soon-ish that I'm going to get into the very edges of the kitty fur. And then when I get to the eyes, that's going to be like popping because they're all these shades of green. So that's going to be pretty cool. Okay, and then the last thing I worked on Friday night and yesterday, and I know you guys are going to be excited to see this because every time I show it, it gets the most comments, is Lavender Roses by Carrie Hawks. And so I did that much. Pretty cool, huh? So this was my first Hade that I started. I started it in April or May of 2019. So it is 2 years old. but I am kind of, I don't know if I could get this finished this year. I guess it depends on just how much attention I give it. So maybe I'll give it some more attention today. I want to work on Enchantress of the Abyss today as well, but I have it out, so maybe maybe I will keep going a little bit and see if I can get kind of like through the nose area today, and then work on Enchantress of the Abyss later this afternoon. Those eyes though, they're just, oh, they just draw me in. Okay, so that was my whips for this week. I always feel like, gosh, I didn't work that much, but you know, I have 5 or 6 projects to show you, so that's good, right? Okay, haul. I do have a little bit of haul. Not a ton, but a little. I got a box of Sulky, just like the black and white, gray, or what do they call this? I don't know, like neutral, I don't know. Black gray sampler is what it's called. And I got this because I wanted to do the kitty cocktail in Sulky, and I didn't have a black. I had all the other colors, but I didn't have a black. So instead of just buying a black, because I just went on Amazon, I wanted to get it next day. And Amazon does have these Sulky packs for a decent price. Some of them are more expensive than others, so you have to look, but this one was actually pretty inexpensive. And I could have gotten just a spool of black, but I figured as long as I was going to spend some money, I might as well just get a little set. So I did. I also got this, and actually I think I ordered this from Amazon because I was being impatient, and then it took a long time, so I don't know. But I got the Mill Hill buttons and beads. This is Playful Cat. This is a recent release, but when I saw it, you know, had to do it. So I really like this one. I like doing Mill Hills, as you guys know. I've done several. This one looks like, I think, well, there is blue in it, so I think this, like, there's a section of blue that's stitched and then a section that isn't. But this is kind of fullish coverage. Not totally, but mostly. Okay, and then for Enchantress of the Abyss, I was missing a couple threads. I had one spool of this, and when I was putting everything together, I realized I needed 2. I think this is for Enchantress of the Abyss. It's either for Enchantress of the Abyss. Yeah, I think it is. But I know I needed a second one of that, which I thought I'd gotten to, but it wasn't there, so it could be rolling around on my floor somewhere, but in the meantime, I ordered it. And then I needed 2 water lilies. So this is called Scheherazade, and this one is called Eggplant. And since I was ordering those from 123 Stitch, I went ahead and got a chart. This is a Puntini called Books and Cats. A house is not a home and without books and cats, which is really cute. And actually, just this part of it is really cute too. Like, that would be fun to stitch just by itself. Just the books and the cats part. So that was my haul that came in this week. I don't know why I'm putting this away. I need to put it with the project. And yeah, so that's about it. I mean, plans for this month, because we're starting a new month, I need to pick my new group of projects, and I didn't do that yet. I think what I want to do is, you know, I usually end up kind of cleaning my area here on Sundays. When I do that, I'm going to pull some things out of my my big basket that I work from and put them away, and pull out ones that I think I'm going to be working on more this month. I definitely want to keep working on Enchantress Through the Abyss. I don't want to put away the Wind Moon Fairy and the and Bellatrix either, because I enjoy working on them. So I don't think I'm going to put them away. There might be a couple others that I will put away for a while. And then I want to definitely pull out the To Everything There's a Season. Again, because my dad's birthday was August 29th, and I'm kind of doing that one in honor of him. So I want to put in at least 1 or 2 days on that this month. And then I've got my mermaids. I don't know, I might pull out the Shannon Christine mermaids. I don't know if I will. I just don't know. I'm kind of like a stitch what you want when you want it kind of person, with guidelines that I set for myself. So yeah, I just don't know. I don't know what I'm going to be doing yet. Stitching for sure. On what? Who knows? Anyway, I think that's going to be it for today. This is a shorter video, kind of back to what I used to do before I started talking about everything under the sun. Weather-wise in California, it's been kind of getting hot this week. This past week, we're getting up to the high 80s, low 90s. So, yeah, that's hot. It's hot for me. I'll keep my air conditioning on when I'm home. But I hope you guys all have a great first week of August, and have a good time stitching. I don't have anything special planned this week, just, you know, going to work and stitching and stuff. And next weekend I'm supposed to go over to my brother and sister-in-law's. I think we're gonna go swimming again on Saturday, so that will be fun. Swimming last time and going to Vegas had, you know, killed my hair. It was like very pale last week, so I relivened it, and then if I go swimming again, it will probably get really pale again. So I will have to reliven it again. But no big deal, right? Anyway, I'm running out of things to say, you can tell. I hope you guys have a great day. I'm planning on stitching and doing a few chores, cuddling with the kitty, maybe taking a nap, watching movies. That's the kind of day I have planned. And I got fresh scallops to cook and have on a bed of arugula. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't cook very often anymore, but I think I can handle sticking a few scallops in a pan and letting them sear. Maybe. Anyway, have a great day, you guys. Until I see you again, please remember to be content, be kind, and be crafty. Thanks, everybody. Bye.